They say if we'll only avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love it.
And hello. Welcome back to another Two Fingers video, people. And today, as you can see by the title, I'm answering the question, why have I soured on Fallout 76? And you're looking at the main reason right here. You can see right here, I loaded my game and I took a screenshot of this, and this was there for about a minute or two, and boom, there it is. That's how my game started for Fallout 76 today. Just my head. Only my head, neck, nothing else. None of my armor or whatever. This is what I looked at for the first minute, actually really probably about 2 minutes or so. And so that is the main reason. Not because I only have a head, but because of the bugs. It is embarrassing. When I first played beta, I was like, oh, it's okay. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. But no, it's horrible, people. It is horrible, and it's become too much. There are other reasons why, and I'll go into that in a second as we go and look at some game footage. So I want to say first that I like this game. I still like this game. I think a lot of the hate that's out there is unwarranted and unfair. They've been criticized a lot for Fallout 76, and a lot of it, as I will go into, for good reason, and they should be criticized for it, and they should be, flamed for it on YouTube videos or on articles, or whatever. But I think a lot, not necessarily the mainstream reviews, but I think a lot of the YouTube videos, they kind of, people like to, just pile on, right? Either something is amazing and wonderful and we go all in, or for something we don't really like or it's not the greatest, then hate comes in, and we love to tackle the bully. We love to bring down the big boy, and that this time it's Bethesda, and it piles on and piles on and piles on. And that's just the way the YouTube is. That's just the way comments are. That's how it is these days. I think a lot of smart people will kind of recognize that. That's what gets views. If I say, oh, this game's pretty good, has its ups and its downs, people, it's not going to attract a lot of views. But if I'm like, just attack this game all out and rip it every second, every possible way, people are going to be attracted to that. People want to watch that video just because it's an opinion that's out there that they can immediately grasp onto and not have to dig deep on. So a lot of the hate is unwarranted. However, at least especially the piling on, as I said, of course, a lot of it is shit. The game is shit at times. The bugs are shit. The way it looks sometimes is shit. I think it's a little unfair. It is an online game. You have to remember, if you go and play ESO or what have you, Elder Scrolls Online. Elder Scrolls Online, it looks nice. In many ways, in some ways, it's more refined in this game. But it's not like it's we're not playing Red Dead Redemption 2, right? It's an online game, so Fallout 76 was never going to be, Red Dead 2 or anything like that. However, even with that said, it should look better. It's basically a copy and paste of Fallout 4, and maybe a couple things are improved, but not really. The mechanics, the especially for melee and even for shooting too, it's just terrible at times. It is absolutely terrible. Again, I understand it's an online game and everything has to be always live and whatever, but it's really pathetic. So people complain about the way it looks, and I think it should definitely look better. I think people are asking a little too much for the game, and that's where you get a lot of people just piling on in terms of everyone wants to take a photo or take a video clip of the water and say how shit this looks. Okay, maybe it doesn't look that good, but I don't think we'd expect so much. We can't expect the moon for an online game like this, but it definitely should be better, and they definitely were lazy about it. So other than bugs, and we'll talk about the bugs a little bit later, I want to first, I need to defend the game a little bit. I understand what they're trying to do. Basically, here's my theory. This is what I thought. This is what I think Fallout and Bethesda were thinking. One, was it a cash grab? Yes, many ways, right? Think about how long they usually take to make games. How long it takes them to develop a game. They are working on, Skyrim was one of the most popular games of all time, maybe the most popular RPG game of all time. And you would think, a business model would be all right, let's quickly get out make another great game, but get it out quickly so we can make more money and blah, 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 blah. But they haven't done that, right? It's going to be about 10 years before we see Skyrim. they take a long time to develop their games. They go into it and they put a lot of work into it. This one, obviously, if you look at when Fallout 4 came out, which is a few years ago, and to now when Fallout 76 comes out, they didn't put that much time into it. So they said, all right, so they knew what they were going to do. They knew basically a lot of it was going to be taken and copied from Fallout 4, copy and paste, and boom. And so they thought, well, we need to make an online game. Online games make money. We can make a lot of money. There's a huge interest in it for Fallout 4. What can we do to make it special? And what they did to make it special was to create this very unique online experience. And this is, I mean, if people who play MMORPG games understand this is not, for the most part, this is not how games are played. You don't just you don't have a game and a massive player online game where you can be a solo player and just wander around. And they did give us that experience. Fallout 76 definitely succeeded in that experience where you can just wander and explore, and it's amazing as a single player. And when you team up, it can be amazing too. Like there's a lot of fun stuff. I love it. I still love exploring this game. I still do it. I still have fun finding new places as I level up and going to places where they're harder stuff to battle, harder stuff to kill, and it's still fun. I go into a new building and I scrounge around and I'm getting stuff and I'm looking for stuff. I get excited if I find something new, if I find some adhesive or whatever it may be, or if I find the backstory of the area that I found. That's great. I love it. It's fantastic. And they did a really, really good job. And that's what they did. Like, we're going to create a game. Yes, it's going to be a lot like Fallout 4. Now, mind you, everything I'm saying right now is not what they said, right? If you go back to E3 last year and what Todd Howard said, it's ridiculous. But I think what they were saying to themselves were, we're making a game that is sort of a copy and paste. So it can't just be like, here's Fallout 4, and now it's Fallout 4 plus online as a co-op mode, which actually they probably should have done. Thinking about it, they probably should have done that, and people would be like, "Oh, okay, whatever, it's fine." As long as you charge a ridiculous amount of money for it. But instead, they're like, "All right, so it's a copy and paste. Basically, we're not doing that much. We're not adding that much more. Let's try to make it unique, a unique experience." So one of the things they did, and to create that lone wanderer experience, was get rid of NPCs. And obviously, lots of people have a problem with that, and I have a problem with that. I think that was a bad mistake to completely get rid of NPCs. What they should have done, in my opinion, and I've mentioned this before, is they should have done the main quest should have NPCs, and all factions should have NPCs. And what I also think would be really cool if they did was, and maybe they'll do this in the future, is have a vault that's out there that's filled with followers or companions. One of the great things about Bethesda games, other than the open world experience, one of the great things about Bethesda games is the followers that and companions that you bring along with you. In-depth characters that have storylines, that have quests, and have unique personalities. They could have done that. They could have created 6 male, 6 female NPC followers out there that you can go to a vault, you can get them, you can change their appearance just the way you can change your own appearance, so everybody looks a little bit unique, and they follow along with you. They have unique dialogue, they comment on different areas, they have their own quest. You can add on to the quest, or Bethesda can keep on adding on to the quest for each character. That would have been awesome. But it made this world even better. So obviously, but as I said, like, they were trying to go for something unique, and I want to give them a little credit for that, right? They tried something different. I think it failed. I think they need to adjust. But it was a gamble, and they tried, right? And they'll get ripped and killed for that, and that, I think, is unfair. Another thing that's what I think is hugely unfair is the people saying there's nothing to do. Those people, you're just, now I think Bethesda is to blame for this also, but there is stuff to do. Like, I have done some quests, and even though you're not talking to NPC, they are fun, right? Like, I did a small quest where I became a firefighter. I forget what it's called, but and that was a fun quest to do. It was short, but it was a fun quest to do. I did the Order of Mysteries quest. That was an awesome quest line. It was fantastic. People who complain on YouTube, oh, it's nothing fun to do. Well, they're basically what they went there and they did the beginning quest, and they're like, this sucks, which is true, it does suck. And they do teach you how to build water or boil water, which is kind of stupid, but whatever. They did those quests and they did events. They're like, oh, this is dumb. and they're not the kind of player who likes to wander around and think, oh, there's nothing to do in this game. That's bullshit. There are awesome quest lines in this game. Different factions, whatever it may be, there are awesome quest lines in this game. Yes, they could use NPCs, but that's a bullshit argument. I hate that argument, and that's someone that people who are making that argument did not play this game. Now, part of the problem is that Bethesda didn't really let people know, like, they should have clued people in and like where to go, different places for different kind of unique quest lines. Now, one thing you may notice is that when you play this game, a lot of times miscellaneous tasks always come up. And the miscellaneous tasks are the ones you want to follow because often they lead you to very unique quest lines or to daily events or something important or whatever it may be. So I think that was Bethesda's way of trying to get people to do some fun quest lines, but I think they could have done a better job of it. They could have let people know early on, like, oh, here's a point of interest, here's a point of interest. Like, mark it on the map as you start the game. Like, give them 12 or 15 points of interest all spread around the map. They're like, all right, I have places to go. And then you start doing some really unique quest lines that freaking would have got people really excited for this game. So that would have easily quashed and stopped all this BS hate about there isn't stuff to do. There's lots of stuff to do. I really hate that argument. It's a really lazy argument by a bunch of YouTubers and by a bunch of people who wrote reviews or commented or whatever. All right, so there's that. And now, before we get to the bugs, because we will talk about the bugs. We will definitely talk about the bugs because it's just that's just embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing, and that's where I might get a little tirade, a little rant. I might get a little heated, a little angry. Before we talk about that, other stuff about this game that I found that I'm beginning to make me turn and sour on this game. It's very simply like this game is like a resource management game. It feels like it's just becoming worse and worse of a resource management game. Like, it is so annoying. Like, the fact that they have a stash size of 400 and they haven't, and people have complained since the beta people complained. Since the freaking beta people complained. And they didn't change anything. So first of all, don't tell me that is a beta. That was not a beta. That was just you get to play early. That's all it was. It wasn't a beta. It was just a test. They're testing their servers and let's play early and a money grab because they probably knew their game sucked. So it said, oh, we'll give them beta and we'll let them carry over all their stats and their level, whatever, once in the game opens up. Because they knew the game was probably sucked. And it's going to have problems. They need to make money and get a money grab. But since beta, people have been complaining about stat size. And yes, it's going to be changed, but they still haven't changed it yet. Like, it's like a month. It's a month of people playing, and people have immediately complained about stat size being too little. And they freaking knew this, and they have not changed it. This game has simply become like I'm just throwing stuff away, constantly throwing stuff away, constantly just getting rid of it, and there's no use. I have no use. I'm like, I have these awesome weapons that I would like to try out and maybe have fun with and just keep around just because they're good finds, or keep them until I find someone to give them to. And I can't do it because I don't have the freaking space. It's absolutely absurd. Like, I can't hold all my crap. It is ridiculous of how much stuff I've had to just throw away or scrap or whatever. Stuff that I want to keep. I can't keep ammo because it weighs too much. You can't keep missiles and freaking mini nukes because they weigh too much. Everything freaking weighs too much, and your stash size is 400. And sure, it's going to go up to 600. You know what? 600 won't be enough either. And I can only carry 240 around with me. It's just not enough. You shouldn't have this for a game. You should be able to freaking just, have whatever. Or you know what? Then do it freaking, I would rather than do this than keep it so low. I would rather them make and charge money, because at least I know that they're aware of the freaking problem. At least I know that they're aware of the problem. If they're like, oh yeah, you can pay for an extra 400 pounds. At least then they're aware that it is a problem. But like having a 200 or 400 and even going up by 200, it's not enough. And it's like you don't freaking realize like what we're doing. Like, this game has become a monotonous resource management game, and it's pissing me off. It's really pissing me off. Another thing that's killing me, before again we talk about the bugs, is the camps. Like, I can build my house, right? Fine, I build my house, build my little one room, right? I don't go too deep into it. I don't do too much. It's a room with some crap that I need, and one of my players in my Discord gave me a guitar. Wonderful, fantastic. There's a guitar, there's a bed. It's about it. The cooking station, yada, 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 all that crap. And that's there. And what I was building before is I had a little garden going because it's very helpful, right? I had some corn, some mud fruit, some tato or taro, whatever the freaking is. And I was making, I think you make adhesive out of that, and also collecting stuff and made fertilizer out of that. So the farm was very useful. But the thing was, I put the farm outside my home, right? It was walled up, but it was put outside my home, protected but walled up. Every time, this is one thing that's really annoying, and it is mitigated by what Bethesda has done. But one thing that's really annoying is that if you load up a server and someone has built on where your home is, then your home is gone, right? And you switch to another server and it's still gone. You have to rebuild it. Okay, fine. It's pretty easy to build. Everything is stored. I can immediately build my my camp again. Just click on stored, and it's right there, and it's pretty easy. However, one thing that's really annoying is that the garden I made with the walls and everything is gone. Like the water purifier, which I freaking bought through Atomic, because I thought it was, well, first of all, I spent the freaking the Atomic currency and bought the water purifier because I thought maybe if I had it, I didn't have to use the materials to build it. I was wrong about that. I still need the materials, the screws and all that kind of crap. But even that gone. Everything's gone. And it's like, what the F? Are you kidding me? So I have to rebuild that every freaking time. I have to build up the fence every single time. I have to replant the freaking fruit or vegetables, which I no longer have, every single time. I have to waste my fertilizer every single time that someone has built on my property. No, that's stupid. That's ridiculous. That's absurd. It should simply be I stored and it's in stored. I build my house and boom, my garden and everything goes up there immediately. I shouldn't have to rebuild it again and use my resources again to build everything again. That's such a pain and it's absolutely ridiculous. And screw you, Bethesda, for doing that. Okay, now the bugs. Bethesda, this is embarrassing and I am worried. For me, the holy grail is Elder Scrolls 6. This is all I care about. This is all I care about. And what you have showed us, including with Fallout 4 and since then, is you guys don't know what the F you're doing anymore. And you don't know how to make a game that isn't bug-ridden. It's not funny anymore. It's not a laugh. It's not a meme that we can joke about. It is ridiculous. We're paying $60. Some people are paying $200, and you give them this game that's filled with bugs. Why can't you fix your shit? Why do you release a game that has so many bugs all the freaking time? I mean, you've probably seen in the video that you're watching now, there's a bunch of times where it's just the combat is ridiculous, and it's like you're swinging, and the melee combat is absurd. I mean, I'm not big on guns. I'm a terrible first person shooter, so you can comment down below how it is for that. I can tell you that sucks. I understand that it can't be the way it is in Fallout 4, fine, but it still sucks. It's a horrible auto aim, and it's not very good. And melee is just ridiculous. You're swinging, you're missing. They have a reach. The freaking creatures have a reach of 20 feet. I have a reach of nothing. I have midget arms. It's terrible. And it's like every time I load up the game, there's a bug. Every time doing quest lines, there's a bug. And the quest lines, that's what happens in MMORPG games, online games. You have a random online bug. That's fine. But you go onto the freaking game and something visual you see is all bugged out, and creatures are all bugged out, and they're just standing there and they're not doing anything, and they're freaking out, and they're running around. Their AI is ridiculous and stupid. You have some of them you have to actually go and hit before they start moving. That is embarrassing, Bethesda. What kind of game have you produced? What kind of company are you that you would actually release that? Wouldn't somebody who's in the top be like, you know what? It is better to take the hit of delaying the game. It is better to take the hit of delaying the game for a month than to release a game like that. That is pathetic. That is absurd. And I am scared for Elder Scrolls 6. I'm so scared for it. I don't trust Bethesda anymore. They've created some of the greatest games of all time. Skyrim will always be my favorite video game of all time. I think it's the best video game of all time. But you know what? Skyrim without mods, without bugs being fixed, isn't the best game of all time. Skyrim, Bethesda, with Skyrim plus modders, then it's the best game of all time. And I'm not talking about adding, tit mods or adding freaking ridiculous whatever mods. I'm just talking about modders fixing the game. Modders fixing Skyrim, that makes it the best game of all time. I do not trust Bethesda anymore. I'm worried as hell because I and all of us, we all need Elder Scrolls 6 to be the greatest game. I mean, Starfield, whatever. Starfield, maybe it'd be good, maybe bad. I don't know. All right, I will be optimistic, and I'll get to that in a second because I'm an optimistic person. But I am still worried what they're going to do for Elder Scrolls 6. And thank God they're taking their time. Thank God it's taken 10 years because they need it. Because they need more time. Because they create a game in 3 years, this online game, and it is shit. It is absolute shit. They gambled. They made some interesting ideas in terms of multiplayer online game. They tried their best in terms of that, but when it came to actually making the game, making it look good, making it play well, making it bug free, they failed immensely, and it sucks. That really freaking sucks. This honestly could have been a great game. It could have been a fantastic game. There's so much there. There's so much potential in this game. And there are things they've done really well that no other online game has done well. But they fucked it up, people. They fucked everything up because they didn't take their time. They didn't put the effort in. They didn't freaking try to work on this game and make sure it was a AAA release when it came out. If this game didn't have the bugs, and simply just didn't have the bugs and was a playable game, I think everything is different. I still think there'd be a lot of hate because that's the way YouTubers are, that's the way comments are, that's the way reviews are. But this game I would enjoy a lot more. Now, there's obviously more to work on in terms of just bugs, as I mentioned in detail before. Now, why I'm still optimistic for the future is this. This is why I'm optimistic for Elder Scrolls 6. And I'm very thankful for Starfield. And I'll get to that in a second. The reason why I'm optimistic is because this is bad for them. This has to be a wake-up call. They're silent, and people are pissed off by their silence, but I love it because they don't know what to say. They are freaking got smashed in the freaking face with a 2x4 over this. They are being raked over the coals for this, and deservedly so. And it's why I actually appreciate all the hate. I think even though the hate is unfair, some of it, I appreciate it because I love the fact they're getting killed. Because I have to realize they have to change. And there's still time to save Elder Scrolls 6 and have it be a great game. And so hopefully they get off their asses and they realize they have to do better. And they freaking try and put the effort in. They are a multi-million organization company. They should have the resources. And Starfield comes next. Right? So two things. If Starfield sucks and they blow it, then they have to. I mean, it could be writing on a wall at that point that Bethesda's done. Is done. They're done. And Elder Scrolls 6 is going to suck. However, if they do fail with Starfield, then they know that all their eggs are now in one basket, and that is Elder Scrolls 6, and they can't fuck it up. If Starfield succeeds, then at least they have some stuff they can build upon. Then they have some stuff that they know they've done well, and they can build upon it and continue on. So I'm thankful that Starfield's there, and I'm still optimistic because I believe that this has to be a wake-up call for them. If this is not a wake-up call, then I don't know. Then they're just freaking. They're out to lunch, people. They're out to lunch. We should give up. We should just give up and look for other games and hope something else can come and replace Elder Scrolls 6 if it can. I don't know if it can. To me, it's the holy grail of what's next. It'll be one of the earlier games for the next generation of console games. I hope and pray that Bethesda is learning a lesson, that they're getting killed and deservedly so. And it's not, I hope they don't take it as, oh, people are just didn't know what they're talking about. People are just, no. People know what they're talking about. There are very well written reviews out there by professional writers, but by professional reviewers, and they have killed your game. They've been honest. They've said what's good about the game. There's some reviews out there that I've read. I'm like, this is well written, well thought out. It's not just some YouTuber making a comment and reacting and getting views and getting excited because they get 1 million views. And they make another video because they want another 1 million views. I've seen that. It's absurd. They're too critical because haterade sells on YouTube. It sells on Twitter. It sells on social media. It's what people do. But there are really well-written reviews out there that are critical of this game and harshly critical and fully critical, and Bethesda deserves it all. And I hope they wake up. I hope they start changing, and I hope they put all their efforts into making the games they used to make, right? Making a game like Oblivion and Elder Scrolls 6 and Elder Scrolls 5 and Morrowind and Fallout, well, not New Vegas, but even Fallout 3 and even to a certain extent Fallout 4, which I understand, especially looking back on it now, it's not as good as we thought it was. Okay, fine, but it's better than this. It's better than what you're watching. It's better than what we've been playing. I mean, as I said before, if they simply just sold an add-on to Fallout 4 and made make it a co-op mode, online co-op mode, it would be better than this. Been better than this. Add a new map and call it night. That's what they should have done. All right, people, I'm done ranting. I had to let some steam, had to get it out of me. Comment down below. Let me know how you feel. And I hope to see you in Appalachia. I hope this game gets better. I hope these updates improve. Hope there's something they bring into this game that makes this game better. I have a feeling that they won't give up on it. And in a year or so, it's a different game. And that's what happened to ESO. ESO was shit when it came out, and now if you talk to people, it's it could be the best MMORPG game out there. Better than World of Warcraft. Better than Final Fantasy 14. So I think they will invest the time and they will make it better, but it is embarrassing and it is sad that we have spent $60 and they have done this. Or $200 and they've done this. All right, comment down below, join my Discord, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
And they say if we'll only avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love.